Today on Monkey Life, Xiaoning's last day at the park.
In the next half hour, she's heading out to Germany to start a new life with 2 others.
It's all changed for the Capuchins.
We're halfway through moving Amy's group, so we've done 8, got 8 to go.
And a new leader for the woolly monkeys.
Chippy's a big, beautiful male woolly monkey, and all of the ladies should love him.
Monkey World in Dorset is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate neglected and abused primates from all over the world.
Just with a hacksaw, I could take 3 of these bars out and pull her out.
The park is home to more than 240 monkeys and apes from 18 different species. And the aim is to give them all a safe home and a secure future. At the Orang nursery, Jolie, Kai and Linga are play wrestling in the sunshine. Whilst Kai ponders his next move, Linga takes advantage and nabs the comfiest cushion in the park. They're all blissfully unaware that change is in the air. The difficult decision has been made for 9-year-old orangutan Xiao-Ning to travel out to live in a zoo in Germany, where she can be in a small group of young adults, which isn't possible at Monkey World. But Xiao-Ning's always been reluctant to try anything new.
Anytime we've reached developmental stages in her life, she's always just put up a huge fight and a huge resistance and acted like the world's coming to an end, even when it's been nice things. So when we built this new fabulous building, which is really lovely, and they all love it in there, and the first day that we moved her across, how dare you? How dare you make me move from the small, tiny building into the big, lovely, bright, fresh air building? And it's just silly.
For the last month, she's been undergoing crate training in preparation for the long road journey to Rostock, Germany.
You gonna come and take an interest in the box?
To start with, Xiao-Ning was having none of it, but eventually she realised there was nothing to be frightened of.
Hi, baby.
Click when she gets in.
Missy?
Good girl, Shaouning. Wow, she's doing really well.
Yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Any more?
Well, with Xiaoning's crate training, she's made a amazing improvement. We've now got her to the stage where she'll spend, 10 minutes easily sitting in the crate taking food from the window. She's allowing someone else to stand here, which is going to be ideal for when we need to shut the slide on the actual day. So we couldn't have hoped for anything better. She's been amazing.
It'll be a very strange experience for her, and she's unlikely to take this new move in her stride. But Xiao-Ning won't be without friends on the journey. Jeremy and Lewis will be travelling with her.
And you have to think that she's gonna be stuck in a van, in a box, and surely she's gonna be scared. And we are gonna be there to just give her a bit of comfort and to, let her know that everything is gonna be okay.
Lewis has looked after Xiao-Ning since she moved back into the nursery.
I'm there with her. Hopefully she'll feel comfortable enough. It's just hope for the best.
So far, Xiao-Ning's been able to go in and out of the crate as she likes.
Good girl, Shaouning. Yay! The only thing we haven't done is shut the slide behind her, and it's not something we're actually going to do until the day that we move Xiao-Ning.
They don't want to risk spooking her.
Good girl, baby.
I think we've done as much as we can in terms of training Shaouning, so hopefully it's all going to go very smoothly on the day. Fingers crossed. She's just going to walk in. It's going to be very, very unstressful for her, hopefully.
Xiao-Ning's not the only one set to move. Monkey World's Capuchins are also in for a major upheaval. Most of the park's Capuchins were rescued from a lab in Chile in 2008. When they first arrived, they were put into single-sex groups until the staff got to know their individual needs and personalities. It soon became clear that some of the less dominant males might do better in different groups. So 3 of them were introduced to a group of females. That went well, and it set the pattern for the future. When Tao, a victim of the European pet trade, came to the park in very poor condition, he initially did well and put weight on. But the team felt he too would thrive better in a group of females, so 12 months ago he was also moved.
It has to be said, he's doing amazingly well. He's an absolute hit with pretty much all the ladies, and he just seems to thrive on it. He just goes where he pleases, he gets food when he wants, he sits there and he gets groomed all day if that's what he wants doing. So he's really a very different Capuchin to the one that we originally moved from the bachelor group.
In a mixed-sex group, Tao's life is much closer to what it would be in the wild.
It just shows how important it is for these Capuchins to live in these natural social groups.
Tao prospered with the ladies, and things have gone so well, the team are aiming at having all mixed-sex groups. And today is another step along the way.
Well, down here at the bottom of the park, we have Amy's group. It's an all-girl group of 16. It's a very solid group with a strong leader. So we're going to move them up to the forest enclosure, and we think they'll make better use of that enclosure than the 9 boys that are in there at the moment.
Those 9 boys are moving into Amy's old house, which is a bit more spacious for the big guys. And that's not all.
Thirdly, we're going to create a little geriatric group at the cage in the forest. So they'll have some girls next door, which hopefully will, produce some interesting behaviours.
They need this group because amongst the males, young Winslow has been making a leadership bid and has attacked an injured old leader, Gorillan. It's just not safe to keep them together any longer. So they've a lot of monkeys to move this morning, starting with getting Amy's girls into the tunnels.
They're used to going out through the tunnel every day in the morning, so as far as she was concerned, it was part of the routine.
There's meticulous planning. Just like a military operation, the girls are soon in their travelling crates and on their way. And the boys are going in the opposite direction.
Great, thank you, Kate.
Yeah, we've moved all of the boys from the lodge down to the bottom now. They went quite smoothly, so they're all in the bedrooms. We're halfway through moving Amy's group, so we've done 8, got 8 to go. So, yeah, it's going pretty well, so we're quite happy.
Becky, Frida and Elvira are the last ones to go.
13 down, 3 to go, and obviously all 9 boys are safely already down here.
Finally, everyone's in the right place, including Jeremy. They'll be given time to settle down before the boys meet up with the girls. But the initial stage has gone well. Woolly Monkey Bueno recently passed away after suffering from a heart condition. Since then, his family has been without a leader. Because the dominant male plays such a significant role in the group, they need to find another boss quickly, or the security and well-being of them all could be in danger. They can't let the oldest boy in there step into Bueno's shoes.
Paolo's quite closely related to quite a few of the individuals within the group, so he's not the appropriate one to let just come on and take over the group. And if we leave him, he's at just the right age where if we leave him for too long, he's going to become a megalomaniac. He's going to think that he's in charge of that group.
So the search has been on to find another suitable father figure to move in and take control of the group. Not easy with just a handful of woolly monkeys left in captivity, but there's been some good news. 12-year-old Chippy and his adopted son Bronco are moving in from Twycross Zoo.
I've been told that Chippy is just one of the nicest people in the world, is lovely with females, is lovely with the babies, and with the keepers he's had over his years. But, you know, life's not been straightforward for Chippy. I've gone back through his records now. I know an awful lot about these 2 new guys coming, and this is going to be the 5th different place that Chippy has resided in his lifetime. Today's the big day. At the crack of dawn this morning, Sandra headed off down the road to collect Chippy and Bronco. They got them boxed up really quick and easy, and they're already on their way back, so I expect we'll be seeing them in about an hour or so. And then it's fingers crossed that we can settle them in. The team have been preparing the way for Chippy and Bronco. doing a couple things, trying to make sure that the group are relaxed and settled in the absence of Bueno. They've already had a big change in their life. Having said that, it's not dissimilar to what would happen in the wild. If an individual passes away or even becomes that unwell, they often just leave the group and they're gone from one day to the next. So primate care staff have been filling the house full of all kinds of browse and different objects and insects and bottles stuffed full of insects and different things, just to keep them busy and occupied until we can get Chippy and Bronco settled into the house.
Everything's in place for the new boss, but he still has to win the acceptance of the group. At Monkey World, everyone's keen to meet the two new woolies who are about to arrive. They're coming from Warwickshire, and Chippy's got a bit of a reputation.
When I was talking to the other zoos and wildlife parks in Europe that hold woolly monkeys, everybody was envious that Chippy was coming here. He's a big, beautiful male woolly monkey, and all of the ladies should love him. Yeah, careful, it's quite heavy.
You're all right. Yeah, they weighed them this morning.
All right.
So far, so good. They don't seem too troubled by the 4-hour journey. Chippy and Bronco will spend tonight in a bedroom of their own to allow them to get used to their new home. Then they'll be introduced to the others. Chippy's first out of the box, and he's not sounding too pleased about what's going on.
Good boy.
Sandra's doing her best to reassure him with some grapes.
There we go.
Adolescent Bronco takes a dash around the room. He's never moved home before, so it's a nerve-wracking experience for him.
Everybody's a bit nervous. You might even be able to hear them sort of alarm calling, which sounds like a really high-pitched chirping noise. But yeah, you can hear that. That's Chippy alarm calling. Already we've learned an awful lot about them because we were told that Bronco doesn't make any noise. Well, he's very chatty, no problem. Chippy's falling over, snuffling hello to everybody.
But it's all very strange for them, and they need time to adjust to their new surroundings. At the other end of the house, their new family is listening and weighing up the new boys.
I've asked everybody to clear out of the house just to calm it down and to let them relax.
Chippy and Bronco have got the rest of the day to relax before they're introduced to their new family. At the orangutan nursery, months of careful planning are coming to fruition, and the final preparations are being put in place for Xiaoning's great move.
Shaouning doesn't realize it, but over the past week or so, she's been trained to go into her traveling box, and in the next half hour, we're boxing her up, and she's heading out to Germany to start a new life with 2 others.
Xiaoning will be living in a new ape complex with 2 more orangutans the same age as her, and there's one young man they're hoping she'll take to.
This male will not be intimidating like Gordon or like Tuan. He's going to be more like Kai, and she likes Kai.
But before all that, there's an 800-mile journey ahead of her, and for an orangutan, that means a travelling crate. Everyone bar Kate and Lewis leave, so it's like a normal crate training day.
You guys all ready to go as and when?
But Shaouning can be unpredictable, and there's no telling if she'll go into the crate voluntarily. To everyone's relief, she makes her way straight in, and today, there's no going back.
Good girl.
Good girl, Shaouning.
Sounded right. These guys have done an absolutely brilliant job because tricking an orangutan to catching them out in the box is not an easy task, not any time. But it just goes to show that the training and the practice of getting her used to the box, no squeaking, no complaining, no banging. She's okay in the box and she knows it's safe and sound, which makes me just feel a whole lot more relaxed because I don't want her upset the whole way to Germany.
They make sure the box is secure before they move it. This is the first time an orangutan has had to leave the park, and now Alison and the team must say their goodbyes.
It would be selfish for us just to keep her here because we love her. It's time for her to have a group of her own and to graduate from being just around the babies. So it's a good thing, but of course, yeah, terribly sort of upset and worried for her.
Shaouning is travelling in the same crate that brought her father Tuan to the park from Taiwan over 10 years ago. The forklift truck makes light work of loading 35-kilo Shaouning and her heavy box into the van.
It's all gone really quite smoothly. She went into the box nicely, shifted her over. She's testing out the box, but not freaking out, and we'll just get her secured in and then get Jeremy and Lewis on their way. Good girl.
With any luck, Shaouning will sleep for much of the journey.
What's this thing for, George?
She seems content to watch all that's going on around her.
Safe journey, guys.
It's the first leg of their 17-hour journey. The Capuchins are all settling into their new houses after the big swap round. Low-ranker Joey's getting used to the newly formed geriatric group.
We had several older males who were originally wild caught, and then we had a lot of the youngsters that were born in the lab. And there were times when the youngsters were just too boisterous for the older boys, and sometimes they'd give them a bit of a rough time. So we've made the decision to keep the old boys up here and let them sort of have like a retirement home, really.
35-year-old Gorillan is the elder statesman of the troop, with 20-somethings Ringo, Marlowe, Boise and Archie making up the oldies gang.
And then we have our younger ones who have social issues elsewhere.
Sean couldn't stay in the same group as new leader Winslow. They've had too many scuffles for comfort. The geriatrics are now housed next door to the females, and it seems to be giving them a new lease of life. Very soon they'll be formally introduced.
It's quite really nice for us to see, because individuals like Ringo, who has been very difficult to get in over recent months, has come straight in the house and he's just hanging off the mesh, flirting with the girls. Boise, Archie, Marlowe, all these formerly low-ranking males are in the house, trying to look very impressive for the females, sort of showing off, flirting.
The girls seem to be more interested in their pomegranate than the boys' attempts to charm them.
The whole process seems to have gone really, really smoothly today. We've been really pleased with how it's gone, how they've all settled in. And obviously the next big step for them all is when we actually let them outside into their new outside enclosures. And again, we just hope that they take to that as well as they've taken to moving to their new houses.
En route to Rostock Zoo in Germany with Shaouning, Jeremy and Lewis have another orangutan to collect. Miri's come from Twycross Zoo, accompanied by her keeper, Tanya.
This is the first time and the last time I'll be formal.
Shaoning's been quiet throughout the journey, but this is their first chance to check on her.
She's doing really well. I mean, she's been asleep, I think, the last hour and a half or so, so now it's just confused, I guess. She's just looking around going like, what? Where I am?
Meanwhile, Miri, still in the van next door, is kicking off. She's far from happy at being moved, and Jeremy's quick to point out his orang's virtues.
Get your monkey under control, lady.
Not all the way there.
Yeah. Look.
Well, that's the sweet. She's going to...
Shaouning sitting in there as sweet as you
I know.
like.
I've just told her that.
Yeah.
Despite all the commotion, Shaouning remains calm. She's well aware there's a strange orang sharing her van, but so far she's showing no objection. The The next stop's the Channel crossing. Jeremy and Lewis arrive as night is falling. There's been no major hullabaloo from orangutans Xiaoning and Miri in the back of the van.
I don't think she's as bad as she makes out to be.
Miri's settled down a bit since they picked her up, and to everyone's amazement, Xiaoning's still relaxed and more interested in Jeremy's drink. The familiar faces have kept Shaouning feeling safe and secure, and all that crate training has paid off.
Would Miri like some strawberries?
She's doing really, really well. She's really, really calm. I think she's been sleeping most of the time when we've been on the road, and now when she's awake. I'm really happy with that. Really, really happy.
Well, you're not, are you? No.
She can just see her noisy neighbour through the crate windows.
You see she's watching now. Also, Mary's being very, very vocal.
In just half an hour, they've reached dry land. If all goes well, they'll be in Rostock by morning.
We're in France. Apart from that, I'm not sure. But according to the sat-nav, we're on the right road.
Next time on Monkey Life, Shaouning arrives in Rostock, but not all goes according to plan.
It hasn't been a positive introduction because Shaouning didn't behave nicely.
And it's party time for the boisterous bachelors.
Once they're excited, it goes to levels where you cannot even think. It's so loud.